Welcome in to Let's Be Honest. I'm your host, Kristen Cavallari, and I am so excited to be here in the middle of summer. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer. I am. I've kind of been nonstop, but it's been fun, and I knew that I was going to be traveling a lot, so I just kind of geared up for it, and it's been good. I'm doing a lot of fun stuff, so I'm happy about that. And I'm excited to be back for a solo episode. You guys submitted questions, and I always love reading y'all's questions because they are pretty funny sometimes, and a lot of them are similar. So it makes it fun. But yeah, so thank you for submitting questions, and let's jump in. Okay. We're going to talk about the kids here first a little bit. Okay, so first question is, do you have help with the kids? Being a working mom is tough. Being a working mom is hard. Yeah, I do. So I didn't for a long time. When I got a divorce, I didn't have any help with my kids because I had them half the time. So I didn't want any help with them because I figured I could just do everything that I needed to do on the week that I didn't have them. But I have my kids more now. So when I had my kids full time, I got my kids full time Christmas actually. And had them full time for 3 months. So during that time I did. I had a girl come 4 days a week pick them up from school and then would stay for a couple hours because honestly, the part for me, my kids hate taking the bus, which I don't understand because I loved taking the bus as a kid. So if I pick my kids up from school, I have to leave my house at 2:20. I mean, that because the car rider line, you sit there for like fucking 35 minutes. And so that's early to have to end your day. So that was tough for me. So I have a girl coming and she's picking them up from school and then they get home around 3:30 and then she usually stays till 5. Which is just nice because it gives me a little extra time just to get some stuff done. And then that's it. Just 4 days a week. Fridays I always do. And you know, I mean, sometimes it's not like it's a pretty flexible schedule. Sometimes we have stuff going on too. We were balancing a lot of, sports in the springtime. And so, you know, she wouldn't come if we had games and practice and stuff. There was no point. So yes. And then this summer I do have the same girl, Chandler. I freaking love Chandler. I'm so thankful for Chandler. She's coming and helping out again, a few days a week. Just, you know, for a few hours, but again, it's just kind of flexible. She's my babysitter. So like if I'm going to go to dinner or something too, like she'll stay. Like it's a pretty just like fluid schedule. There's no kind of set schedule. So that's kind of it. But you know, also my kids they're not little where it's like, I need someone all the time. Like my kids are pretty independent and self-sufficient. Like they can just kind of do their own thing now, which is also nice. So I don't really need someone that much. What age will you let your kids date? This is kind of something I haven't really thought about. Well, Jackson, little Casanova, he'll date, he'll go and hang out with his little girlfriend with a parent around or kind of, off to the side. But it's not like a date, right? Like he's 10. That's not that serious. Like really date, I'd say probably like 8th grade would be my guess. I think that was when I kind of started dating. So yeah, I mean, I guess we have to see how it goes. Cam is about to be in middle school. He's going to be in 6th grade in the fall. So I think that's kind of when crushes and all that stuff kind of starts to amp up, but I still think 6th grade is way too young to date. I would say I think I went on my first date to dinner with my boyfriend Johnny in 8th grade. So probably around there would be my guess. What are the kids into these days? So my boys, they just, in the springtime here, they were playing flag football, which they both love. I love flag football. I think it's really fun. So they were doing that. They're my sports guys. They're both doing a basketball camp this summer, and that's it. They're sports boys. They love swimming, just playing basketball right now with their friends. We have a go-kart. I'm on 28 acres and we have a go-kart. So they cruise around and they have fun doing that. Sailor loves riding horses, so she does a lot of that. She's also really into Legos, and she's good at Legos. She is so good at Legos. She's 8 and she does them for 14 and up and stuff. I'm really impressed with some of the Legos that she has put together. So Sailor's also she's pretty girly right now. She's really into makeup and, she has her little press on nails that she's into. So she's in that phase too, it's really cute and fun. So, okay. Whoa, why is making friends in your 30s so hard? It really kind of is. Although I will say I've actually made some of my better friends in my 30s. So I think the trick with the 30s is that you have to just be patient. You can't rush it. You can't force a friendship. But I actually think you can make some of your best friends in your 30s. I have 2 friends in Chicago who I met in a Mommy and Me class with Jackson. So I guess that was late 20s, but still, who I still keep in touch with, who I just love. And then 2 of my best friends out here, I met, just probably 3 or 4 years ago. And I met them, we all have kids together at school, but it'll happen. I think a nice way to meet some friends is through school. But, it's different when you're in high school and your teens and your 20s and stuff. When you're going out all the time and you're doing a lot more stuff, it's so much easier to meet people. I also think when we get older, we don't have as much time. So the people that we do decide to spend time with, we want them to be, like-minded people or people that we really enjoy and like. We're I hung out with some people in my early 20s that I would never hang out with them now. I think the pool just gets smaller when we get older because we have more boundaries and expectations. And I also think that's a good thing. I would rather have 5 amazing, loyal, great friends than 15 mediocre friends. So I think that's also part of it. You really need 1 or 2 really good friends. I really think that. So, but it's a very real thing. Okay. How are you setting up your kids for financial success? So I think a big thing is just quite honestly not giving my kids whatever they want. It's not saying yes to everything. It's teaching them how to appreciate the value of a dollar and also learning how to work for what they need. I was not given everything growing up. When I lived with my mom, and I love my mom for this now, but she didn't give me anything, anything. And it used to drive me crazy. And then I moved in with my dad, who threw money at me. And I remember feeling really guilty about taking my dad's money, and I went and got a job in high school because I wanted to make my own money. I didn't want to take my dad's money. And that's probably because I wasn't used to it, right? My mom had raised me where, money just doesn't grow on trees. It kind of taught me that if I wanted something, I was going to have to make it happen for myself, which I am really thankful for that lesson. Because I think that's kind of what's instilled my drive and made me always kind of figure out how to take care of myself and make money from an early age. And so I think it's that. It's, if you want something, you got to work for it. That kind of a thing. And then when they're old enough, in high school, I want them to all have a job 100%. I'm not just going to give my kids whatever they want at all. Cause I think that's the worst thing you can do. Do you have any farm animals? I have 8 chickens. And a couple of them are silky chickens. If you guys don't know what silky chickens are, you should look them up because they are the cutest chickens on the planet. They're a little bit smaller and they're really fluffy and they almost look like little Pomeranian dogs or something. They're so freaking cute. So I've got a couple of those. And I just love these little silky chickens. And then I have 4 beehives. So I have my own honey. And with the hives, what they do is they pull the honey once a year. And last fall, they pulled 200 pounds of honey from my hives, which actually it is a lot, but it sounds like more than it really kind of is. However, it's lasted me the whole year. And that was what I gave everyone for Christmas gifts. I gave everyone at Uncommon James, I gave them some honey, teacher gifts, you know, and all my friends, anyone who comes over, I'm like laying honey and eggs on them. So, and those for, I don't know, a chicken coop, a greenhouse, and my beehives were always kind of a dream of mine. So that's been really fun for me. But that's it. I don't have any more animals. Guys, I can't take care of one more living thing. I have 3 dogs. I have 3 kids. You know, it's like I'm maxed out. Sailor would love a horse. I think, you know, a mini horse at some point would be so great. And she's so good with animals that I know she would take really good care of a horse. But I just can't do it right now. Maybe one day when my life isn't so busy, if I had more time to just like focus on, you know, tending to the animals. I also don't have someone to help me with that. Like, I guess it would be different if I had, you know, like a house manager or property manager or whatever to kind of help with that stuff. But I don't have anyone. Like, I'm cleaning my chicken coop. My kids are cleaning the chicken coop. Like, you know, I don't have like a whole staff of people to help me with that stuff. All right, you guys, let's talk about Nutrafol. I've been taking this now for more than 6 months, and I've noticed such a difference with my hair. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, I've posted my before and afters, and those speak for themselves. I had a lot of breakage about 1.5 years ago, and I've been growing out my layers, and I've really noticed improved hair growth, and I've been able to grow out a lot of my layers, which makes me so happy. I've even turned a bunch of my friends and my family members onto Nutrafol as well. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. Everyone's root causes of hair thinning are different, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow throughout different stages, such as postpartum and menopause, as well as different lifestyles, such as plant-based diets. Physician formulated with drug-free ingredients, Nutrafol's supplements support healthy hair growth from within by targeting root causes of thinning, including stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism as they evolve throughout a woman's life. Get results you can run your fingers through. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering my listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code HONEST. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code HONEST. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code HONEST. Let's talk about Bon Charge. Bon Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bon Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern-day world. Their extensive range of premium wellness products help you sleep better, perform better, have more energy, recover faster, balance hormones, reduce inflammation. The list is endless. From blue light glasses and infrared saunas to red light therapy to EMF management and circadian-friendly lighting, Bon Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern-day way of life effortlessly and with maximum impact. My personal favorite product from Bon Charge is their red light face mask. It helps with wrinkles and fine lines. If you have sore jaw, eczema, migraines, acne, scar tissue, wound healing, it's also just really relaxing. It also helps with razor burn and ingrown facial hair. Red light therapy has been reviewed in over 4,000 peer-reviewed studies, with 400 plus being double-blind placebo trials. Both near-infrared and red light, it boosts collagen and elastin production. Since I've been using the red light face mask from Bon Charge, I've seen a noticeable difference in fine lines and wrinkles. People have been giving me compliments on my skin. Bon Charge also has other amazing products such as low blue light bulbs, blue light glasses, and EMF protection products, which you guys know I love. Bon Charge products are HAS FSA eligible, providing up to 40% off. Go to boncharge.com and use coupon code HONEST to save 15%. That's BONCHARGE.com and use coupon code HONEST to save 15%. I need your biggest advice for girls who are losing sleep over a man. I need your mentality. So similar, but I think the best advice for someone with a broken heart is to feel it. to feel every emotion that comes your way. My divorce was the first time in my life I told myself I wanted to feel everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. It was the first time in my life I wasn't going to push an emotion away. I wasn't going to run from it or push it down. I was going to sit in it because that's where you learn and grow. So for me, what that meant was journaling a lot, reading certain books, finding my spirituality. That really helped. Looking at the bigger picture and really looking at it from a lens of like, what is this? Why is this here? What is it trying to teach me? Because I think we can learn something from every breakup, every heartbreak. There's something there for us. And that's it. And just knowing it's going to take time, knowing that it will end. It's always temporary, right? You always look back and you're like, God, that seemed like the world was ending and I was never going to be okay. And then you're like, but I got through it. I survived. And then you're stronger and better on the other side of it. But it's allowing yourself some grace and just knowing that it takes time. And in the same breath, it's staying busy. It's, getting your closest friends around you and doing fun stuff. Or if that means you're laying in bed all day crying, I think do that too. Like, it's important to do all the things. I also think having a friend who you can vent to 1,000 times a day if you need to, like a friend who doesn't get sick of you talking about your situation is so important. That's Justin for me. And I am so thankful that I had him during my divorce and my whole fucking dating escapades. He's the best friend on the planet. You need someone who isn't like, oh my God, you want to talk about Jake again? Like, get over it. Like, no, a friend is supposed to be someone who has empathy for you, who can sit in it with you. Like, a really good friend is like, this is happening to us. Like, we are heartbroken. Like, that fucking dick broke up with both of us kind of a vibe. That makes such a difference. When you have a friend who's in it with you, you don't feel alone. And I think a lot of times the hardest part about a breakup is feeling so isolated. You just feel so alone in this sadness. So what do you do if you don't have a friend like that? I don't know. Call Justin. I don't know. I mean, honestly, friends can be the best therapist and the best medicine on the planet. And I'm really lucky that I have Justin. And I wish that everyone could have a really good friendship like that. And it's not just Justin. I have really good girlfriends too. I mean, I have some of the best friends on the planet, and I'm very lucky for that. And I've known most of my really good friends for 20 plus years, or about 20 years, I'd say. And I'm thankful for that. And I would say, if you want that, be that. Right? Like, I think everything is energy and we attract what we put out there. So start by you being that friend for someone. And I really think it's going to come back for you. Would you rather be famous or not famous? I think fame is such a weird thing. And I've always felt a little disconnected from it, which I think is what's kept me sane. But I like my life. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I wouldn't trade my life for the world. There's a lot of really fun, cool, great stuff that comes with fame. There's also a massive fucking headache that comes with it too, and a lot of things that are unfortunate. But I wouldn't give it up. However, I've dealt with it for 20 years. This is my life. It's what I'm used to. If it went away tomorrow, I would be totally fine. I'm not like, I don't find my validation in that. And I never have. To me, it's always seemed like a very fake world, because it is. What the fuck is fame? That's not real. That's not like, it's not tangible. Like, when I really think about it, it like kind of fucks with me a little bit. It's kind of hard to explain, but I did have a phase in my really early 20s when I was probably 20 or 21. And I felt like it was really unfair because I didn't seek it out. And listen, I don't feel like this anymore. I'm just telling you how I felt at the time. To me, Laguna Beach fell into my lap. And yeah, I ran with it because I was given an opportunity. Of course I was going to run with it. But to me, it felt, and again, this is a time in my life where I had paparazzi outside of my house every day. I was always on the cover of the tabloids for shit I didn't do or whatever, or maybe I did do it. And I felt really alone, and I felt really claustrophobic living in LA because of the paparazzi. And I also felt like I was a kid just doing dumb shit and everyone was judging me. And it was hard for me for a period of time because I was like, it would be different if like I wanted this, I wanted the fame, I wanted, I was like searching it out, but like this all just like happened to me. And my excuse at the time was like, yeah, I was, MTV came to our high school. I'm a competitive person. It was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to get this show, but it was very different than me like wanting to be an actor and like chasing those dreams and like wanting to be famous. So I kind of struggled with that for a little bit, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I've learned so much about myself through it all. And, I've gotten to do some incredible stuff. I mean, my career has been very cool. It's been all over the map. I've done a lot of stuff. I've met really great people. I've been to amazing places. I've tackled a lot of fears. I had this crazy fear of public speaking, and I've had to face that head on in a lot of situations. And I feel really, when it's all said and done, I have felt really proud of myself, and it's been challenging. It's taught me a lot. It really has. And so, no, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I think I have a good handle on like the fame aspect of it now. I think getting out of LA has been great, especially for my kids, but you're not as much in a fishbowl there. I have a lot of control to a degree just through social media and the podcast. I can kind of pick and choose what I want out there. I will say this. I'm consistently surprised at the level of attention that I get. And I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I'm simply saying that of like, let's use Montana as an example of like hard launching Montana, right? Posting them on Instagram. Did I know that would be a big deal? Yeah, I knew it would be a big deal. I had no idea to the degree that it was. Posted a picture with Stephen Coletti and I a few years ago. Also knew it would be a big deal. Didn't know to what degree. So there's been these like moments in my life, even in just the last couple of years, where I'm like, whoa, it's wild that like 20 years later, right? The fame aspect can at times be bigger than I give myself credit for, or just bigger than I ever anticipate. And while it can be stressful and having a lot of people judging me, it's also cool because 20 years later, when I was on Laguna Beach and people would tell me, enjoy your 15 minutes because it's going to be up, to now 20 years later, still, I don't like have people care that much, I guess, is like, wow, it's impactful. It's meaningful to me in the sense that like, I guess, I don't know. I guess that's why I've been able to have a career 20 years later. And I'm thankful in it in a way because I know how tough it can be to have a career in entertainment. And I feel very lucky that I'm still able to. I guess is the whole point, this whole fucking workaround that I'm doing. I'm just thinking out loud. But, and that's a testament to you guys who listen to the podcast. I mean, I'm talking into a fucking camera right now in my dining room because you guys care. And that's very cool. And I think, being on reality TV at such a young age, I get it now because I think y'all feel so connected to me because we've kind of grown up together. And so that's been nice. That's nice. It was hard at times. And now I'm like, okay, I can really see the positive in it all. So curious if you've ever struggled with jealousy and how you've managed that. Yeah. I mean, yes, of course I have. And jealousy can be so many different things, right? Like there can be jealousy in a relationship. There can be jealousy of just like another girl, like for how she looks or her, whatever it may be, what she has. Jealousy that I have maybe dealt with in my life has been, I've been jealous of other girls before for their body or the way, the way they look. I 100% have. I have been jealous in relationships before. That one's not, I think I've had a good handle on jealousy in relationships though. Because here's what I'll say. You don't want to be with a man who is going to consistently make you feel jealous. I think it's really important to be with a man who is going to make you feel confident and secure in the relationship. I think that's problem number one. Like, why, if you're really feeling jealous in a relationship, why? Or is it really just about you and you've got some insecurity that you need to deal with? But I think like when it comes to a relationship, my stance is sort of, you have to trust your partner, because what is the point of getting so worked up when A, something probably won't happen, or B, if it does, then bye. You don't want that guy. Like an example would be even in, my marriage. Like if, I don't know, I just remember like all of my ex-boyfriends, if they would go out and I wasn't there, it would be like, okay, like have fun. Cool. I'm going to bed because I'm not going to stay up worried all night. If another girl can take your man, then you can have him. Bye. It's that simple. And one good thing about social media is I feel like now girls, and there are a lot of shady girls out there, but a lot of girls are coming together and like having each other's backs, and they will they will like find the wife or the girlfriend or whatever and rat out a guy if he's not being a good guy. So that I think is good. I just feel like us women, we have this gut feeling. Like we know if something happened, we just know. And so I think, well, no. But there's no point in getting worked up over it. Because I also think jealousy is such an ugly, ugly emotion. It's such a turnoff for men. And so, yeah, I would look at like, how can you feel the most confident? And if a guy is making you feel really jealous, like you should look at that. I think like that's a bigger thing. And if you bring it up to a guy and they kind of disregard your feelings, that's also a red flag, and you need to assess that relationship. That's all I'm saying. But it's weird. Like social media brings out the worst in people. And I think, these guys, if they're following a bunch of random girls, it gets tricky. It definitely gets tricky. You want a guy who is going to unfollow the girls when you get into a relationship. I think that's important because it's a respect thing. And I think a lot of guys are like, I don't even think twice about it. Like, because guys are bombarded with girls in bikinis and shit all day long. Where, yeah, I think there's probably a lot of truth to that. Like, they're kind of desensitized to it. And it's just like, they're just scrolling, whatever. But it's a respect thing. It's a respect thing for your girlfriend or your wife of like, and maybe that's my ego. It's not like, it is a respect thing. And I also think maybe my ego is a little bit involved where it's like, I don't want my boyfriend to follow a bunch of random girls to be like, oh, Kristen Cavallari's boyfriend follows me. Like, haha, he watches my stories and stuff. Like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't like that at all. At all. And do I think that because, and I don't just think that because people know who I am. Like any girl, I don't want any girl to be able to be like, oh yeah, her boyfriend looks at all my shit. I don't like that. It's a respect thing. So we should all go for the guys who are fucking man enough to unfollow these girls and make you feel secure in a relationship. Like, I'm sorry. That's how it should be. Otherwise, fuck these guys, man. They're plenty of fish in the sea. Fuck them. With how busy you are, how do you prioritize you time, and what do you do to fill your cup? It can be a challenge sometime, and I have to have alone time to recharge my batteries, and if I don't have it for a while, I just get like a little like it's I don't know how else to explain it. Like, I just get stressed out. So it is when I have a day, that's what I mean. It doesn't happen very often. If I have a day where I can sleep in, drink my coffee slowly, get everything done that I need to get done. So there's no laundry hanging over my head. I don't need to go to the grocery store. There's, like the random house shit, right? When everything's done, that to me is like, oh, I can breathe. Because like the endless to-do list is what stresses me out. And it's when the endless to-do list gets backed up that then I'm just like, oh, like I start to get like, oh, I can't do it all. Like I just like start to fall apart. So it's being able to, from what I've learned, I just started doing this in the last couple months, booking in a day here and there where I have a day. I literally in my schedule have on a random day, keep empty. Maybe I'm working out in the morning, maybe I'm taking my kids to school that morning or whatever it is, but keep empty so that I have some hours to catch up on life so I don't feel like I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Or so then I can do a face mask, and not be like trying to do 5 other things at the same time, like having a minute. I love more than anything being able to have coffee when I'm not fucking rushing out the door to take the kids to school, when I'm not like rushing to go, like whatever. I just want to drink my coffee slowly. Is that so much to ask for? Fuck. But it doesn't happen very often. Now that it's the summertime, I'm having some slower coffee mornings, but which is great. That's why summer, mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you, summer, so much for the lazy mornings. I love them. But, normally that doesn't happen. And so, but it's, if you're so busy that you have to schedule yourself some time like me, do it. It's learning what you need to feel balanced. And so that's how I fill my cup, is having some alone time. It's real. That's how I do it. That's literally, and I don't even know what I do in my alone time. It's alone time when I don't have 10 things I need to get to, when I can just kind of like cruise around my house and like see what I want to do, blast music and just kind of like, maybe I'll clean out my closet. Like, oh, that gets me going. All right, fashionistas, let's talk about clothing brand Lulu's. Lulu's is feminine, playful, approachable, and reliable. Lulu's has amazing value and quality for the price. There's no occasion Lulu's can't handle. There's an outfit for all of life's moments. Lulu's has the dresses and outfits that you'll remember with friends you'll never forget. Right now, there's so much happening. The summer months are so busy with different activities. If you're anything like me and my friend group, I have baby showers, I have bridal showers, I have weddings, I have all the things. And we want versatile outfits that can go from brunches to birthdays, even into date nights and late nights. That's why I love Lulu so much, because they have outfits for every single moment. I also love when you have a particular dress or outfit that was really memorable that you wore to something really emotional. And as soon as you take it out and put it on, it just brings you back to that moment. I'm taking a ton of trips this summer, and one of those trips is Greece. So I'm on the hunt for white clothing. So I love that I can go on their website and I can do a filter for exactly what I'm looking for. It just makes it really easy. One thing I love so much about summer is just having really lightweight, easy dresses to just throw on. You don't have to think about it. And that is something that Lulu's really does well. So guys, visit lulus.com and use code HONEST at checkout for 20% off your first purchase. That's LULUS.com and use code HONEST for 20% off your first order. New customers only, terms apply. Here's a brand you guys know and love, and that is Facebook. On Facebook, I don't just scroll mindlessly. I've been able to further my interest by going above and beyond the scroll. So, for example, if you're interested in cooking like I am, you can find Facebook groups that have similar interests, just like that. And whether it's cooking or fashion, travel, whatever it is, there are groups for everybody. This idea is called social discovery. The Facebook group that I'm in, we recently just all made a chicken piccata recipe and we all shared that. I love sharing recipes because I honestly just like seeing how everyone's turns out, because I am no food stylist. So I love getting inspiration from other people. I've also discovered new chefs that I just find really inspiring. I've learned a lot from them, and I've also just gotten some really great recipes.
Another thing I love so much about this is that there are real people behind this content, which makes it seem like there's a real sense of community, which I love. I would encourage you guys to find some groups, create some reels, share them, see what happens. You could do fun fashion videos, you could do cooking videos, join me in my groups. Or if you're traveling this summer, you could make reels about your whole trip. And I feel like those would do extremely well. So, where will it take you? All right, you guys. So, tap into the people on Facebook to fuel the things that you're interested in. If you want to discover more, visit Facebook.
Do you use your own face products? Be honest. Yes. And I know me telling you that doesn't mean jack shit. What I can tell you is I've never, ever been able to get behind something that I didn't fully believe in. And because it's my own company, I am selfishly creating products that I want. I use all of these products. What I am doing is I'm also supplementing with new products that we have coming out. So I'm using products currently that are coming that are not out yet. And we are developing a lot more too. But yes, I use every single product. I'm the one developing these products. I'm the one testing them. I'm the one making notes on them. I shouldn't say develop them. I'm working with a lab to develop them, but it's me. Every skincare product that we put out there is because I want to do it. I don't have, I've got a team of people helping me work on it, but I'm the one testing all of them. They are all my ideas. And again, I am creating products that I want. That's everything that we do at Uncommon James and Uncommon Beauty. I haven't bought a piece of jewelry since I launched Uncommon James. I mean, I design what I want. Skincare, I'm creating products that I want. Otherwise, why am I doing it, right? Like, I believe in everything that we're putting out there so much. I'm not going to waste my fucking time if I didn't. I don't know what else to say. It's like, I'm sure some people would be like, oh, bullshit. No, I mean, that's all I can say. I don't know what else to say on the matter other than if you know me, you know how authentic I am. And even like paid social posts and stuff, you guys, I've gotten offers to a lot of fucking money, 6 figures, to talk about products. And I'm like, I could never, because I wouldn't take it, or I don't believe in it. So if I'm going to get behind something, it's because I wholeheartedly believe in it, and take it for what it is. I mean, if you believe me or not, but that's who I am to the core. Any advice for the ladies struggling to find a decent guy? Ugh. It is such an emotional roller coaster, isn't it? When you can't find someone. I didn't like anyone for 3 years, really. I couldn't find a guy for 3 years. Well, it's interesting. I could find a decent guy. I found a lot of decent guys. I just wasn't attracted to any of them. And it was hard, because I was like, am I ever going to find someone that I like? It is hard. What I will tell you is get so comfortable being on your own that you're just like, whatever, he'll come. And I think, with manifesting and everything, if you believe in that stuff, is just knowing that he's coming. He's coming. I know he's coming. So you're not hung up on when he's coming. So you're just going about your day. And it was weird. Right before I met Montana, like a couple months leading up to it, because I actually, 2 months before I met him, I was like, I'm done dating. I'm so fucking done. I went on so many bad dates. I never liked anybody. And I was like, this is so frustrating. So I was like, I'm done. I'm taking a break. But when I knew in my break, I was like, my guy is coming. My guy is literally right around the corner. I felt it. I just felt it. And I wasn't worried, like, I'm taking a break, so how am I going to meet someone? It was like, when he is supposed to come into my life, he will. And I still believe that. You cannot miss or mess up what is meant for you. I wholeheartedly believe that. I will tell you the couple little manifesting hacks, I guess, that I did do right before Montana came into my life. 2 things. I cleaned out a drawer in my closet. I had an empty drawer because they say you have to create space for something new to come in. So I cleaned out a drawer. And you can pin people on your phone. I had 9 people pinned and I removed one person. So I had an empty space. So every single day I would look at my phone and there was an empty space. So it was like a little reminder of like, I need to put someone here. But it was like, he's coming. I knew I was saving that space for a man. He's coming. He's going to be here before we know it. But it's life is funny because it's like when you're in the midst of something like that, it seems like it's never ending and it can be so lonely at times and it can be sad. And then you meet someone and you look back and you're like, oh my, A, what was I worried about? B, that flew by. Cause I had those moments. I had a lot of fun in the last 4 years. I met a lot of, interesting people. I went on a lot of dates. I was very comfortable being on my own. In fact, I loved it. But I had moments of being like, when am I going to fucking meet someone? Especially when like everyone else in my life is in a relationship. And I, for the first time in my life, was the only single person. And I was like, this kind of sucks. So I get it. It's hard, but it's just journal in that time. I really believe in journaling and just like getting everything out and go through phases. Like if you're in a phase where you don't want to date, don't fucking date. Who says you have to date all the time? Mine was ebbs and flows. I would go on 1,000 dates and then I wouldn't date at all for months. And then I'd be so excited again and re-energized and I'd go on 1,000,000 dates. And then I'd be like, I fucking hate this. So it's just, you do what feels right for you, but it'll happen. It's just trusting in the process, I think, is the lesson, right? Do you find yourself a little insecure dating a younger, good-looking person? I really don't. I think with where I'm at in my life, just of how I feel in my own skin, really being confident. I don't. I mean, I notice how good looking he is every fucking day. And I'll do a little skincare routine for him at night. So I'm like rubbing his face, like looking at his face, being like, Jesus Christ, you have the most perfect, flawless face on the planet, like not a fucking wrinkle or line, And so then I kind of see a difference. But no. And he's so great about telling me how beautiful he thinks I am. And I think, quite honestly, like every single day he tells me that. Even when I look like shit, I know I've got no makeup on. Like when I know I don't look good, he still tells me that I'm pretty. And so that goes a long way, I think, too. It's like finding a guy who just makes you feel really good, I think is the most important thing. So no, I don't. But my God, he really is really good looking. So, yeah. But, guys, let's keep it real for a second. All of my exes have been really good looking. Like if you go high school, through, everyone was pretty damn good looking. And I think I actually look better now than I did when I was younger. So I kind of like keep that in the back of my head of like, well, if you could do it back then, well, you look better now. Just like keeping it in perspective. Can you talk about ways that you and Montana connect, like the deeper stuff, love languages, best date, how you unwind, etc.? Okay. So really early on, we had a conversation about love languages, and I think they're so important to understand in a relationship. I am words of affirmation. So someone writing me a letter, for example, and just telling me how much they appreciate me or what I mean to them, goes so far with me. And Montana is acts of service. So like me making him dinner really resonates for him, or like, the little things that I do for him. And I think learning how to speak the other person's language is where the magic is, because if I'm words of affirmation, so typically we show our love through how we feel it. So I'm words of affirmation. If I'm sitting here telling Montana how much I love him and how fucking beautiful he is, it's probably not going to land the same way that it would for me. So it's learning how to speak his language by making him dinner, doing his little skincare routines for him at night, all of that kind of stuff. you know, asking him if he wants water before we go to bed. Like, you know, he's literally told me like the little things like that mean a lot to him. And so, he is so good about knowing what I need in a relationship. And again, you know, for being 24 and him being able to emotionally step up and give me more than I have ever felt in another relationship is mind blowing. I'll tell you one thing that he really did that was so sweet. We went 10 days without seeing each other in the spring, and before he left, he gave me a stack of 10 cards to open, one a day. And that was so meaningful to me because in previous relationships, I would be like, all I want is a letter. Like for my birthday, just write me a letter. I don't want anything else. I don't want you to buy me anything. I want to hear it. I want you to let me into your world, like open up to me and talk to me. And it's really hard for a lot of people. And so the fact that Montana just did this was like, oh my God, that's what resonates with me. I am consistently blown away at his emotional maturity. And that's been really cool for me. I've never really had that. So, yeah. We just do. We just connect. That's what it is. Like, we're not afraid to have the tough conversations, and neither one of us is afraid to be vulnerable, which is also new for me. I've always been so scared to be vulnerable. And from the get-go with him, it was like, this one has to be different. Like if I want this to work, it has to be different. And I knew, and you know, because I had done the work the last few years, I was like, when I enter into a new relationship, I'm excited to see how I am. And that was a big thing for me of like, I have to let that go, like fucking be vulnerable. And I have been. And for that to be so scary for me and to have it be reciprocated and him to be so thoughtful with it and take such good care of my vulnerability has been really huge for me. It's quite honestly been a turning point in relationships for me. No matter what happens with us, I think like for me, being able to trust and being vulnerable is huge for me. So, yeah, it's really good. It's really special and it's really good. So I think we end on that one. But I think what we'll do is I'll do a part 2 because I've got a million more questions. So next week we'll do the rest of the questions, but these are really good questions, you guys. So thank you for submitting them, and I'll see you guys next week to finish them. Mwah.